So I think I'm gonna get started. I just, there's a few housekeeping things on the top of the hour that I'll take care of, and then I think slowly but surely people will start trickling in. And so to get started, what we're here today for is the Business Schema training. And we're super excited to have you. This is it's the holiday season, and obviously people are really busy, but there's something that called to you to be here today. So we're very grateful. My name is Ushi Patel, and I'm going to be your host today. And I'm a member of Team Booming. And I also have benefited from this training, so I'm very excited. And this training is brought to you by Booming Group. And Booming Group is an ecosystem it's an ecosystem dedicated to serving business owners as they develop their business. And so everything that we do, including this webinar, is geared towards helping you grow and have your business thrive. And this is a really good actual season for this, because with the holidays, you've got your family stuff that you've got to do. Maybe you're traveling. You obviously have a ton of business. At the end of the year, clients like to kind of sneak it in to do things, and it can often feel very overwhelming. And how do you get all of the parts of your business operating as one whole with you and moving forward with you? And you're stepping into 2017, and here's a great chance to take a look at all aspects of your business and ensure that all of you is represented in all aspects of your business, so that in 2017 you can grow wholly with your business. And certainly when Catherine Silvera, who's giving the training, starts talking about that, you'll see the benefits of that. So I'm not gonna blow the surprise of all the benefits. I'm just gonna let that happen. But that's what you're here to do today. So we did a great technical test with Sarah and Alex, so I'm going to jump right in. And before we get to the sort of nitty-gritty of the training, I also want to introduce you to Anna, who's our community architect, and who we lovingly and teasingly call Anna Banana. So she'll kill me now that I said that, because all of you will, all of you will tune into the Booming Group ecosystem and go, hey, Anna Banana, I need this. But Anna really is sort of the organizer of how you got here. She's giving you the emails. She's the one sending out all the content from the Booming Group ecosystem. She's obviously doing a fabulous job. So Anna, do you want to just say hey and let them see your gorgeous face, and then we'll get into the training.
Sure. Hi, guys. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today. And thanks for trusting us to deliver this training to you. If you've gotten an email, it's probably from me. And I wanted just to steal this time to encourage you to please stay in touch with us, especially if you are a lifelong learner just like us. Stay in touch. This is the first in the series of free trainings we'll be offering throughout the year, so stay posted. And if you'd like to learn more about our other programs or other options for training, do visit boomingcollective.com. Most of you have already been familiar with that website. And if you are looking for a deeper engagement with your business, I highly suggest visiting the website to get more information. Or maybe you're unsure, you'll want to visit that website too. There is a free quiz that you can take, and it will really help you assess where you are in relation to your business today. If you're more interested in mini trainings, such as the one you will receive today, visit boomingacademy.com. We've recently launched a new course from that website, and we'll be releasing more throughout the year. So stay posted on those two very important websites. Again, it's boomingcollective.com and boomingacademy.com. And if you forget any of that today, my name is Anna, and you can always just email me at anna@boominggroup.com. And if you have any questions after this training, or any feedback, or even suggestions on the types of training that you want to receive, do email me and let me know. And again, this is the very space just for that. So you can reach out to somebody in the community member to help you build the business of your dreams. And that's it. I'm passing it back to you, Ishti. Thank you.
Thanks, Anna. And we're recording this, correct? And so if people would like to access it after, you're going to make sure. Yeah, she's nodding her head.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yep.
great. So, so great. And just, thank you, Anna. And on that note, I want to make sure that everyone understands. So there's a lot of information that's going to be presented. In my humble opinion, it's awesome information, but it takes time to digest. So a couple of things I'd like to ask is, one, that you kind of put aside distractions, turn off your cell phones. I promise mine is off. Mute your Skype, because that could go crazy too during this time. Make sure your cats aren't cruising on the video screen, so that you can really stay focused on the information here. And we have both in this this webinar environment the opportunity for you to chat. You could raise your hand, and those controls, at least on my screen, are on the top left-hand corner when you're facing your screen. So please feel free to use it at any time, and we're going to get to as many people as possible. Although this is Catherine is doing the presenting, she's going to make sure that she pauses and allows questions, and we'll be interacting with Anna and I in this exercise. So please feel free to ask your questions. And also, I'd like to say that, like, sometimes what happens in the business setting is people are afraid to ask because of that feeling of like, oh, I should know. So that is like, anytime you're engaging with the booming ecosystem, that doesn't apply. We love questions, and we love diving deep, because that's exactly why we're here. So with that said, I'm really excited to introduce you to Kathy and to jump right into this training. And I gotta say that, like, so I personally have benefited from this training, because I felt for a long time that I was a slave to my business. I'm not sure how many of you felt the same way. I'll describe what that is, and if so, please just like do a little yeah in the chat. And it went something like this: is like, I feel like I'm a creative, I'm an artist, and so oftentimes in a business, I spent all my time in the creativity and the artist side of things. And I'm there, I'm doing my thing, and I'm feeling all artistic, and everything's going well. And then, boom, emergency in the legal side of my business. Boom, emergency in the financial side of my business. And all of a sudden, my entire life is being run by these emergencies that I would love to say it was everyone else's fault, but it was basically I was ignoring that part of my business. And I didn't get it until I took this training. And so the opportunity that exists is that you get to, like, it doesn't become you're running your business based on emergencies, or you're running your business based on the thing that screams the loudest in that moment. And things can scream really loud all the time. So this is the opportunity that you have right now, is that you get to take a look at all aspects of yourself and all aspects of your business and have it come together as a whole, so that you're in charge, you're in control. And that gave me that freedom that I really wanted in my life, to do something that I really wanted to do, but also not feel like it was dragging me like that all the time. So have I perfected it? No way. But I'm getting there, and so that's what's happening today. And the person that's going to deliver this training, so in Booming Land, we like to say leadership by context, and you're going to find in these webinars that we keep bringing different people who demonstrate leadership in a certain area. Well, we've got Catherine here today, and some of you know her. This might be the first time that you're also meeting her, but she demonstrates that leadership and expertise in the area of how you organize your business. And your business structure. And she started her first business at 16, and then went on to the banking industry, and then founded Booming Group for exactly this reason, to help business owners organize their business and have all aspects of themselves represented in that business. And you know what? She does an awesome job. I'm living proof. There are many others that are the same. And so that's who's going to be giving you the training today, and I'm really excited. So right now, I'm going to toss the baton to her so she can start giving you the information that you came here for. And to do so, I'm just going to say, hi, Kathy. And since she's in another location, she's going to do a little bit of a hi, and then we're going to make sure you all can see the board. And then she can go ahead and get started. So without further ado, everyone, please welcome Catherine Silvera. Can you say hi, Kathy? Yeah, it's just on mute. Yeah, great. Kathy, just say hello.
Thank you. Thank you, Ushi. Thank you, Anna. And thank you to all of you that made it today for the training. It's very exciting to have our first webinar. Um, the reason that is exciting is because we are business owners like you. Like, we have a business to run. We have like different operations to run, and actually, is not we are not experts in giving trainings or giving content, but we are experts in running our businesses, and we were finding different ways to share with others and empower other human beings to actually build the business of their dreams and follow their passions and build structures that are based on who they are as people and their values. So it's very exciting to have this training, and thank you so much for being here.
And Kathy, I can see that everyone can see the board okay, so you're all good to continue to go, okay?
Okay, perfect. Yeah. And I'm going to stay here, and then when we start the training, I will ask you, and people to say if we are good with the board, okay? So, perfect. So, to jump into this training, the reason that this specific business schema matters to us is that each of us individually in Booming Group, we love certain things. We love our work, and we are very dedicated to some aspects of our business. However, if you guys think about a house, like, what will be happening in a house if, like, we all just gather in the kitchen and can cook amazing dishes and can have great recipes, and we forgot that in our house we have a bathroom to clean, we have a bedroom, we have a garage, and years just pass by and we just forget, we stay in the kitchen. I feel that that house will be not pleasant to go. So the same happened with a business structure. Sometimes we start our businesses with all the passion because we know how to bake. We are photographers. We are in finances as my background, and we just believe that we need to focus in how to deliver that service. And then when clients start to come, we start to deliver the service, and as time passes by, we just look for different activities that happen around that. And the thing is that for us, we experience that that's not true. Like, when we start building a business and we want something that is sustainable and that we can keep growing as, like, we get more clients, as we have a larger operation, there are other aspects of our business that it needs to come to our awareness. That doesn't mean that we are the ones who needs to do it. Like, when we are solopreneurs, and as in Booming Group, we started as well, like, being 3 people. Yes, we need to wear different hats and do a lot of things, but it's not the case always. That this is not meant to say that you need to do all of that right now. It's more like, bring it to your awareness and have it in your radar. So when you are working, when you are building your business and you start to feel like, what should I do next? You can come back to this, and it will be a good information, and it will inform you which area of your house you are not taking care or you are not visiting often. Okay? So to start, let's think about this business schema. The way that we experience, again, this is something that we use here in Booming Group. In order for us to understand our house, what we did is we divided our house in 4 quadrants. And the reason that are these 4 quadrants, it could be 5, it could be 6, it could be 3, but the reason that we wanted to create 4 quadrants is we wanted one space that take care of the day-to-day of the business and the structure. Is kind of when we think about our body, we wanted to focus one area on the skeleton of the business. We wanted another area of our business or our house that takes care of the relationships internally with ourselves, with our staff, with the people that we work for, our clients, our community. So we wanted a specific area in our house dedicated to check our relationships and how we relate to other people. So if we go back to the analogy of our bodies, I will say that this quadrant, we wanted to have it to work on ourselves and our personality and who we are and how we actually show up. And the third quadrant that we have in our house, on our business, it's marketing and creativity. And it's an area that we wanted to have for how we want other people to perceive. Like when someone visits our house, like when they leave, what is the impression that we want to give them? So the whole area, we wanted to have an area that is focused in that. And lastly, we wanted also, like we know that whether our businesses that are in technology or not, technology is here to stay. It's moving fast. And it's helping any type of business, no matter where they come from, to create efficiency, to grow, to communicate. So we wanted to also have a part in our house that help us think about that, like how we can actually think how technology can help us in many ways as well, because if your house stay in one way forever, it's harder to grow. So we wanted to also have in that area a space where we can, let's think about where we need to innovate, like where maybe some things in our house are already obsolete. It's kind of like when it's time to declutter and time to throw things away. So it's the same. And so that's why for us, it worked these 4 areas, because it gave us a really good sense of all the things that we need to be aware in our business. And as you see in the board, and also Anna sent to all of us a PDF that I imagine that you guys have it by now printed or on your computer screen. And the name of those areas is, one, it's operations and finances. That's how we name the skeleton. The personality, we call it business development. The way that we are perceived by others, we call it marketing and creativity. And how we keep evolving, we call it technology and innovation. But this works for us. It's not written in stone. You are free to use the quadrants in your own way and name it the way that works for your business. But the idea here is that you can organize the different activities in your business. And as we go through this training and we start to go around the activities, you guys are gonna start to become aware about different activities, and feel free to, oh, actually I want to name my quadrant this way because this is how I name this space in my house and this is how I want it. Go for it. Like, it's whatever works for you. The idea is like to have a segmentation and make it easier. So as a visionary, as a business owner, you are not trying to think about this at all times, all over the place, or as Ushi mentioned, just when the emergency is there and it's like, it's time, it's talking to you, and you never, like, you abandon that for a few months. So before I proceed, for now, do you guys have any questions? Ushi, can you check please the chat or the Q&A to see what the audience is saying?
Yeah, so there's just a comment here about can you go a little bit over how we see each quadrant, like you were naming them specifically. So if you could just reiterate how you define it for your business. So you were saying operation and finances is like ... just to review it, because they're just taking notes about how we see it. And then yeah, let's start there. That's come in a couple times.
Perfect. So thank you. So operations and finances, we see it as the skeleton of our business. It's where we locate all the activities that are that refer to structure, our day-to-day operations. It's like what hold us together as a business, like the different areas of the business. So yeah, in Booming Group, we use that area as with the analogy of the body as our skeleton, is the bones, where we put those together. Then jumping into this quadrant, we call it business development. and that is where it's our personality, it's our values, it's how we want to relate with others. We know who we are, we know our values, we know why we are building this business, that you cannot just build a business for yourself. It's you interact with other people, you interact with your team, you interact with your partner. So in this area is how you manage your relationships with others and how you actually learn more about yourself and the business to be able to do that. In the marketing and creative is the area that we perceive as how we are perceived by others. In business development, it's most likely like what I think about myself as an individual and as a business, and how I relate to other people. Marketing and creativity is the perception that others have about myself, right? And as we all know, like, perception can be different ways, but here is where we have different activities to work on that perception, how we want other people to see us, how we want our clients to see us, how we want to show up in the market. And then lastly, technology and innovation. Here we call it, using the body analogy, like our brain, because it's more like how we keep evolving, how we keep creating or using technology to help us amplify already the efforts that we are doing in the other areas. It's also how we can expand the different activities that we do in our business currently, just taking advantage of technology itself.
Great. I'm getting a bunch of thank yous for that one, for the review. Yeah.
Perfect. So then, so when you guys have your quadrants of the house or the sections of the house already laid out, what we did is to start to really think through what are the activities that any type of business needs to have in order to operate in a healthy way. As business owners, we also get into this assumption that, oh, we do that when we are bigger or when we grow. That's when we are going to think about different types of operations. But the reality is that if we want to achieve freedom, if we want to do not become a slave of our business, if we really want to manage and be in flow, we highly recommend that it's something that you start since the beginning, even being a solopreneur. It's very, very important, and you will feel grateful that you did it at early stages and not when the chaos is bigger. So in operations, let's do this, because as I said before, I'm not a trainer, I'm a business owner, and I work better when I relate to something around that. So what if we play with this scenario? Ushi and Anna, you guys are my co-hosts, so let's imagine that, forget about booming for a little bit, let's create a new business. You guys are together in a partnership and you are having this business. You guys are gonna open a restaurant, or you guys run a restaurant. I like that analogy. I had a restaurant in the past, and it's gonna be easier for me to go with a restaurant. Yeah, are you guys in? You guys are partners in a restaurant.
Yeah, I'm in, but I want to go to the marketing and creativity quadrant first.
And forget the other aspects of the...
Yeah, I want to discuss the colors of my walls in my restaurant, please.
And the kitchen is on fire.
And the logo, oh yeah, the kitchen's on fire.
Okay, perfect. So you guys own a restaurant. You guys actually run a restaurant, and let's say it's chicken restaurant. You guys have a chicken restaurant. You guys are great visionaries, so just start imagining that restaurant already.
It's fusion chicken, if it's mine and Anna's. Fusion chicken.
Okay, so the first step is we work here in Booming. We don't start with any business activity before we have identified. When you see this spiral here in the board and in your PDFs, is because we believe that any type of business first needs to start by who you are and who are your values, right? So let's assume that Anna and Ushi met a while ago. They had this vision about opening a restaurant, and they, through work, have identified clearly what is the restaurant that they want to build. They have some values that each of them as people they have, and they just want to make sure that that is embedded into the business operations, and also to make sure that they organize. So from that place, you guys own chicken restaurant. What are your just hints around what activities could go into the operations and finances in your business?
Having all the supply and inventory in place.
Oh, awesome.
Right?
Did you have a restaurant before, Anna? Or you actually want to open one?
I know. No, my uncle has been in the concession stand business for a long time, and that was the biggest thing, was making sure that the food supply or the materials or the ingredients were stocked.
Perfect. And so let's see. For example, one thing when we talk about supplies and inventory, as business owners, we can get catch up on I just need to buy this and make sure that I have the inventory. But then as you grow and you haven't really paid attention to that, it could be that you end up having ingredients that don't match who you are and the initial intention for the business that you and Ushi want to create. Or it could happen that you start to work with vendors that have completely different ideals and values as the ones that you want to transfer in your business, correct? So that will happen if we just see that as an activity that goes on day to day, and we don't pause to like, okay, how this is gonna work. So with supplies and inventory, I feel that another activity that happens in operations and finances is the management of my vendors. And this, even if it can sound really simple, it will help you to have that in your awareness, that every time that you're going to hire someone to either be the one that provides the ingredients for your restaurant, or the one that or the tool that you're going to use for your inventory, that you really can think through that is not just something to solve the activities of the business, that actually is something designed for the business that you guys are building. What else comes to your mind around operations and finances?
Well, if I were to open a restaurant, or since I'm opening a restaurant, I get intimidated by the idea of how many transactions are having to happen. Like I have to track. So like the tips, the payments from the customers, the payments to the vendors, all of that, how that all flows. So like financial tracking, bookkeeping, financial systems, that sort of thing.
Perfect. So that I will say here, for example, for us, and I would recommend if you guys open a restaurant, is that you guys can have an activity that it's accounting, and then accounting has different sub activities. And as business owners, sometimes we think like, oh, I have to do my taxes, so that's accounting. Oh, I need a bookkeeper, and that's accounting. Like accounting is actually the activity that brings all that together. So it's very important that we said, okay, taxes, actually when I hire a CPA, it's part of my accounting. My bookkeeper, it's part of my accounting. So it's not just someone that is registering what already happened. Like I need to have that integrated with my taxes too. And another part of accounting is my billing. Right? It's how I have my billing, my accounts payables, my account receivables. So these are different things that are inside accounting. And I'm going to put it here because most likely when we work with business owners, we tend to see it as different, as like there are different activities. And that can cause a little bit of like I don't want to go there, or like I heard a lot of business owners that I need someone else to take care of my books. And if we start to see it as it's one activity that can have many different parts of it, then we will be able to understand it better. So,
hey, Kathy, just one thing is that that smaller writing there is a little hard for a couple of people to see. So keep it like that, but just make sure you point to it so that when they're taking their notes, they can see it. Yeah. So that first one there says books. The second one says taxes.
And the other one says billing.
Okay. And then also when you get a moment, I'm getting a couple questions here that I also have this question time to time is, but what if, and you might be getting to this in the future, but what if I'm not good at those things?
Okay, no, it's a perfect time to jump into that. You don't need to. You don't need to be good at it. The part is that when you hire someone, like you can have even someone doing your books, right? That the person is integrated to the other things that are happening with your taxes and billing. Usually, it's the nature of how that was built in our society as of today, and people see it as different. So then hire a bookkeeper and just organize my books, organize my transactions. I don't want to just organize it. And I feel that you want to work with someone that wants to know what is happening inside your business and that will organize the books how you want to be organized. Like books precisely, for example, doesn't need you to be an expert. It's your business. You're going to tell, like, I need that you organize these transactions based on the different sections in my house, because this is how I want to manage my house. And there are different ways that happen, but I feel that it's more that we get intimidated by the matter itself, and that we let that other people tell us that are different things or that are separated. And I will say that if you are not an expert, just try to connect it. If you hire other people to do the work for you, tell them, like, no, I want you to talk to my accountant. Because usually the bookkeeper wants just to give you the reports. The billing is like, go inside the billing and check how the account receivables are doing. And I'm sending my invoices with also the intention that you and Anna had for the restaurant. Like if you have some values and you wanted to build the restaurant in a way, your books can reflect that, your invoices can reflect that. And we usually don't go there because I'm not a numbers expert, so I have nothing to say there. But I guarantee you that if you start to get involved or have it in your awareness, you will have a lot to say, because you are the one that is building the business, and let the other people do the numbers if you don't want to do it, but the essence of your business will be there as well.
So we're. I think that this section here called accounting has sparked a lot of questions, and most likely feels like the little bit of the lack of clarity people have in their own business. So could you so when you're referring to books, you're specifically referring to the record of what happens financially in your business, or what are you referring to?
Yes, at this stage we haven't touched not even financials per se. It's one aspect. Accounting is an activity in your business that helps you track what already happened, right? It's more the books precisely. There is anything that you can do, and that's why I encourage people to do it at the beginning. Like if you guys want to have a restaurant in some way, you guys are the ones who tell the bookkeeper, this is how I want my categories, this is how I want to be able to read it, even if you are the one doing the work. But yes, Ushi is something that already happened in the past. However, when you get involved with your books, just looking at that past, you can learn a lot how to project for the future. So you either if it's past, you want to know it.
Yeah, great. And I lay a bet that, I'm seeing a lot of these questions about the specific details under everything that Kathy is writing up there. And I'll as a previous participant, I'll let you know that it is useful for her to go through every section and put everything down. And then based on the time, we will have some questions and answers so that she can drill down on it. And then further, if you want to, like, each of these are worlds in and of themselves. So for now, let's, I think, Kathy, why don't we've got your questions. They're great questions, so thank you for asking them. And why don't you go through the whole thing in the interest of time? And then if we have time at the end, we'll have questions and answers. And then also, Anna will follow up with ways in which, if you want to do a deep dive, you're able to do it on any number of these subjects that are in here. Because yeah, they're all universes unto themselves, and definitely need to be defined and taken care of. So why don't you go for it, Kathy, and then everyone who's participating, just hang tight, because you will get the information you need.
Yeah, thank you. So another activity that will happen in the operations and finances of your business, that now that we are talking about accounting, it's financials. And the financials can go from, also have different, let's call subcategories. It could go, you need your financial projections, that it helps you to, if Anna and Ushi are opening this restaurant and they are making an investment or are willing to put your time in it, you have an estimate of what is the amount of revenue that you're gonna bring for the next 3 years, for the next 5 years, and how that will work. What are the expenses that you're gonna have for those years as you also grow the business. So then financial has that aspect that is the projections, but also have the part that are financial reports. And let's say if we go back to accounting, is the way that we track the information. Accounting purely track information, and the financial reports actually is kind of like give you the diagnostic of how your business is doing financially. And it's important that once in a while, you don't need to be in finances, like that you get in touch with those statements, with those reports. Again, could be intimidated, but once you have that, you just take the time to read them little by little. Another part that happened in financials is and I'm gonna put it here actually as another activity, that way it's inside financials, but I'm gonna put it as another activity, that way you guys can have it in your awareness, is cash flow management. And the cash flow management, it's an activity in your business that will tell you the bits of how the actual cash is moving in your business. Is something that you don't want to just jump into a river and like, okay, take me whatever you want. Cash flow management is something that you learn the wave and you learn the currents. So you are going to be able that when you start to pay attention to the cash flow management, you start to see how the money is behaving inside your business. And that helps you navigate that part as well. And as she said, there are many details, but at this point, my aim is that you guys can take notes and have it in your awareness that for a healthy business, it's something that we as business owners need to dedicate some time. Then another thing that could happen in your restaurant, I imagine that you guys want to grow, and it's staff, right? You guys would like to have, you need waiters, you need a chef, because if Ushi is going to start just decorating, you need people in the kitchen actually making the food. So that part, I'm going to put it in a term that it's well known for most of us. So it's HR, human resources, and that part you can name it however you want, but it's actually where you're going to take care of your people, and you're going to create the systems to have payroll going on, how you are going to hire them. Sometimes, again, as business owners, we grow, and then we said, we need this position, we need to fill out this role, or we need a host in the restaurant. and we just think that we need someone to cover the job and the activity, and we just go from that place. But what will happen if Ushi and Anna stop and think like, okay, if we're going to have an activity called HR in my business, and we have some ideas of why this restaurant exists, what are our values, why not to take the opportunity to have that since the beginning? The way that you're going to interview the candidates, the way that you are going to offer them the position, the way that you are going to create that job description. It's very subtle, the difference that makes when you actually just go like, I need a host, let's hire one, and this is what that this person needs to do, versus like, no, Ushi-Anna, this is the restaurant that we want to create, this is the ambience, this is what we want to transfer, so let's make sure that we transfer the same when we are doing HR tasks. Let's make sure that we transfer the same when we are, even if we're going to do our own payroll, or if we're going to hire a company, a person to do payroll, that we have that in consideration.
Hey, Catherine, I'm going to break my own rule because I think it's worth it, since I'm getting so many of the same ones, is that if I have a business right now that doesn't need all those things because it's just me and my business partner, or me and 3 other people, that's okay, right? Like that, like how should I be thinking of this exercise in relation to the fact that it's just me and my business partner, or just me sitting in a room?
Great question. I feel that it still applies. It still applies. All the activities. When we go through the exercise, we are gonna go there like how to. One thing is to have the awareness that exists, and how we can embed it into our day-to-day when we are a solopreneur, or 3 people or 5 people. We're gonna go there. However, yes, please, even if you're by yourself, this applies.
I think everyone just started freaking out. But keep going.
Yeah. Okay. So another, now that I'm looking at financial, sorry that I also forgetting few items, but in financial, I forget budget. When I was talking about the reports, the projections, I forgot a big one. We all are afraid of that one, like budget. Do we have budget? So moving forward, what else, Ushi and Anna, really quick, what else popped into your mind for the operations of that chicken restaurant?
Legal,
Awesome, yeah.
Contracts, all those sorts of things.
I'm gonna put legal here, and it's another activity. Thank you for bringing that up. It's another activity that we as business owners try to get work in isolation. Either we just talk to lawyers or do legal when we are opening the business, or when we need it, or actually when we have Houston, we have a problem. I think that legal, even if our very like contracts, or we are gonna create agreements, or even the contracts that we're gonna create for our staff, the contracts with our clients, in the restaurant could be many different agreements that you have with your vendors, right? Those are very like, we don't have as much freedom because are very like a standard, but you will be surprised how much from all the legal documents that are out there, if you really pause and align your intention and what you want to build with those activities, you will be surprised the difference that it makes. It's something that also needs to dedicate some time, not every day, but like once in a while. The other thing that happened in your operations and finances is payments. And this is the part that how we manage that activity. How we manage that activity is what are the systems that also we want to create as well, and how we want to establish those relationship in our business. So I feel that for operations and finances, when you really sit down, Ushi and Anna, and think about the restaurant, there are many other things that are gonna come to your mind, that whenever it comes, instead of just like, what I'm supposed to do to this, or just let me react to it right now because I need it, but then you forget for another 2 years, you just take the time, put it in the quadrant. And as we go, we are gonna, as you start working on this, you will see that there are other things that are gonna pop up in your mind in regards to operations and finances in your business. So for this, let's jump into our relationships. So we have few bonds already, like the skeleton is coming together. So we're gonna jump into how we want to set up our relationships. So the first thing that comes to my mind in regards to your chicken restaurant, and you guys can say like, no, I disagree, it's what you want the customer to experience, right? So it's something for us as a business is more like the delivery of our products, the delivery of our services, but in the restaurant could be like customer experience. And I'm gonna put here customer experience for your chicken restaurant, and then in parentheses, I'm gonna put product delivery for those that are taking notes for their own business. And what this activity means to us or to the restaurant is that we actually take the time to think how we want that to be. It's not just like, if I really go and deliver the service, I keep doing it over and over, but it's great when I really can pause and like, how I'm delivering this, how I'm delivering this product, how, and you will be surprised when you take the time and actually think about it, how creative and how you can put a lot of your intentions there. See how this exercise goes? Like now that I was talking about like how that goes, I was missing a big one in operations and finances that is the creation of processes and systems.
I like to ignore that one.
Yeah, I guess like I was like, wow, I'm forgetting one that is very important. So for your restaurant, Anna and Ushi, like if you want to grow, this is an activity that is crucial for the skeleton of your business. You really want to, if you train the host once, and then you need 2 hosts, 3 hosts, you don't want to be doing that all over and over. In order for you to grow, you need to document and observe what you did, and then do it all over again and keep improving in that process. The same as the systems that you have in the business. So if we jump back, sorry to jump back and forth, but to jump back to business development, another thing that happened in the development of your relationships is training. And this training, I feel that it's in-house and also external. There is some training that you need to do with yourself. In our company, we call it a personal development. That the training can be, I'm gonna put here, internal and external. Again, it's just to have it in our awareness. I think that we all as business owners are always learning, and we look for different ways to obtain different information. Like this training, you guys are here, you made it, you want to learn something new. That is different when we have it as a constant activity in our business, that it's always in our radar, and we always are dedicating constant time to that. The other part that happened in business development, Anna and Ushi, what comes to your mind around relationships? We are tapping into that right now.
How to grab or create or how to get clients, how to grab customers, how to bring in that dough.
Perfect.
We're going to knead the dough and bring in the dough.
Yeah, exactly.
So I will say that in this business level, let's call it sales, for a common word for everybody. Again, you can name it however you want, but sales. And I will add the customer service. And one difference between the customer experience or the delivery of the product of the service is that you are in action of that. Is that moment that you actually are like serving the food, or like if you are delivering a service. That the sales and the customer service is what happened before they get there and what happened after they left the place, right? In your guys' case, for a restaurant. So are little details that are very important to start working as well. Thank you for that one. What else comes to your mind? Okay, I'm gonna, because the time, I'm gonna keep going. One important one for business relationships, it's our set of goals. We can keep building, but we need to pause and constantly set goals and then evaluate goals. And it doesn't need to do the way that big companies and corporations do it. Like, we can start with little things, as like we can have 3 goals for now that is the end of the year. You can have 3 goals for 2017. And just create a mini system that you can be like, okay, in March, I'm going to stop and actually see where I am. Then I'm going to stop in June to see where I am. And that's how it's an activity that helps you make decisions, see how else you want to build. And another activity that happens in business development that I feel that is very crucial for the type of business that right now are emerging is partnerships and collaborations. And this is one type of sales and customer service activity that is like, if you have in your business one activity that is dedicated to actually what are the type of engagements, what are the type of relationships that I can keep building. It's kind of like, if you think about us as humans, it's like where can I meet new people? Where can I socialize? Where can I just go? If I don't pay attention and I stay in my house every day just working and doing what I love, like at some point with time, you get isolated, whether you realize it or not. So having that in our awareness also creates like, okay, let's go to this event. These are other 3 vendors that I really want to get to know more, and I want to go and visit them and see how they are building their business. And that's how you continue that part. And I feel that with these 5 activities in business development, it's a great start. Again, you're going to add, as you grow that restaurant and you start the operations, there are more things that are going to come out that if it's related to relationships, you're going to be like, oh, okay, I need to have this in mind. Let me put it in that quadrant. So, okay, any questions for now before I jump to marketing and creativity? That is the area that you're dying for, Roshi.
Yeah, well, there's a million questions too, so I'm just going to let everyone know. I'm going to let Kathy keep going in the interest of time, and we promise at the end we'll let you know how different ways in which you can get more information. And a few of them that I just want to acknowledge, like, I think Kathy is so that too. People are like, well, how do I know what activities and how many activities can I have, and what's the difference between an activity and a to-do list? So we are taking notes of these, and let's, I think for the benefit of this training, we'll get through the whole schema. So rest at ease, everyone. And the other thing I want to say is all business owners have these questions, so no worries. That's exactly why she created the training in the first first place. So why don't you keep going? And the ones that are sort of like coming, the similar ones that are coming from many people at the same time, we will address at the end. And then beyond that, we'll have Anna shoot you a follow-up email so that we can give you ways for diving deep. Go for it, Kath.
Yes, and also thank you, Ushi. And for the aim of this training, one more time, I love business, so I can go and explain one by one, but the aim here is if you guys focus in more the organizational part. Just and I apologize if sometimes I pause in one because I just love it, but I will say that in the future maybe we can have more trainings that are specifically for each activity. For now, let's focus in the how I organize it, right? Like we are putting it by colors. We are labeling the different activities. Okay, so marketing and creative, we are creativity. We are jumping into this area that, as we said, is how we want others to perceive us. So on this one, Ushi and Anna, you guys are experts. So now is the part of your restaurant that you will be me. I want to do it. So what it comes to your mind? What are activities in your business that you will have in mind to assure that you have management in how others perceive you?
I mean, I want fly uniforms. I want beautiful tables. I want the best silverware. I want business cards and menus. I want to have a party so people can come to it. I want to have a DJ at that party. Am I in the right vicinity?
Perfect. So, but okay. You're an expert on that field. How that is called?
Design.
Okay, let's start with that activity.
Branding. Oh yeah, that one.
and yes, you're right. Branding. It's actually how you build that brand. How you want others to perceive you. So inside branding, yeah, you have design. And I'm gonna put design collateral, that it's like all the things that you are mentioning, that for your restaurant could be the menus, could be the business cards, but other businesses will want letterheads, email signature, like could be anything, right? And inside branding, I feel that one thing is the actually design, but we have the strategy that you always brand as its own thing. Also, as you evolve, as you grow, the brand needs to go with you. So you need to take the time to dedicate some time to this activity and pay attention to the words that you are using, right? Like where to be. Like sometimes we get like, oh, everybody's going to these social media pages, so I need to be there. Like I will say, no, there is no need to do that. You can stop and say, like, what am I building? And where I want my brand to be according to what I'm building. So it's very important that we dedicate time to this. Then once we work in our look and feel and the perception, another part of marketing is dedicate time to the marketing. We can call it marketing plan or a strategy. And sometimes when we talk about marketing plan, we can say like, oh my gosh, it needs to be like this huge thing that is big. And if I'm not a big company, I don't need it. It could be a tiny plan. Like you will notice that as soon as you dedicate time of who you are and how you want to be perceived, it will become clearer to you. Okay, what are some steps that I can take in 2017 that matches that? I'm gonna be here, and that way you don't go with what other people tell you. You will have more initiative in that marketing plan. So one thing is the plan, and then the actual marketing implementation. So as you go, you will, okay, now I need to see how I'm gonna implement that marketing plan that I created. Then what else? What else, ladies, comes to your mind for your restaurant? That way I just don't go by myself. Is your chicken restaurant?
I mean, since it's Anna's expertise, I'll steal it from you, but content.
So you don't need to be in the content business or having a blog to think that you need time to dedicate to content. Even a restaurant needs content, right? Like the words that are going to be in the menu, what is going to be in the flyers, what is going to be in my website. And usually I feel that that's one that I will say, like, have it in your awareness, because what we experience all the time is that we don't think about those things, and then when we ask for content, then people are like, like, I don't know how to do it, or I don't know what to write, or I don't know. So content is important to have it there. And the reason why it's good to have it in your awareness is because you don't need to be a professional writer, or you don't need, but I guarantee you that if you dedicate time to that, it's your business. You will have great things to say, you will have great content, and then it's okay if someone else put it better, it's okay if someone else can work on make it look professional, but it is your business and you know the content that is inside it. What else?
I can't remember, does events go in that one or and business development?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was going to say, like, the way, or promotions, like how you promote.
Great. So events,
events.
Ushi, to answer that question, events can go either way. I'm going to put it here because it's how we put the events, the planning and attending. But you can put it also in marketing. It's up to you. The reason that we have it under business development ourselves is because we see events as a way to build relationships. So, but there are events that are pure promotions, right? To launch a brand, to launch a product, to have anything. So I'm gonna put here Anna. I like that you suggested that one, promotions and advertisement. Good to have it in our awareness, because as of today, we all as business owners receive lots of calls from people from different places in the world, like selling us marketing promotions. Let me get more clients. Let me help you with leads. Pay small business owners. Yelp call them like 3 times a day. Like, pay this and I get you more clients. I'm not saying that that's wrong. Like, it's okay. But before you're proceeding, when you have these activities in your awareness, you will have more information to make your decisions about whether or not that offer is right for you, or it could benefit your business. So,
all right, Kathy, we have about 10 minutes before we need to get into questions, so just a little friendly time warning. Yeah,
we are good with that. So the part that also goes in marketing then is all our online presence. Maybe many years ago this was not a activity, but as of today, it's something that we need to have in mind. And we need to, if this is about how others perceive us, we need to dedicate the time to see how we are showing up online, right? And the online presence can have many also sub-activities that can be from our website, our social media, could be SEO, search engine optimization. There are many things that can go under online presence. And again, even each of these, website, social media, SEO, as Sushi said before, it's its own universe, right? So imagine if these big things that needs to be learned, at least not to actually do it, but have some understanding of it as a business owner. If we don't dedicate time to know about online presence, then this keeps accumulating, and then at some point we are like, what is that? I don't even want to touch it. I'm gonna put here also
I'm going to answer a quick question for you that's coming in, Kathy. So SEO is referring to search engine optimization. So it's an acronym for search engine optimization, which is, I'm not even going to go into what that is, but that basically tactics on how well you show up in search. So if somebody were to search, since it's coming from you, Unwind, if they were to search photography in Sydney, that your name would be the one that comes up in that search engine.
Thank you, Ushi. And yes, as I said, I will say that, and with website and social media, there are also, it's its own word. Like there are many things that happen inside that if someone says like, I want to be in social media, sometimes it's like that there are many ways to be in social media. And there is, for example, just to give you guys an overview, it could be social media management, social media actually engagement. Do we want to do social media advertisement? So there are many pieces that it's important that, again, we don't need to do it, we don't need to know it, but we just need to be aware. And that makes a huge difference as business owners. So I'm gonna leave the way that we look to the external like this, and again, as if your business has some things that you consider that is like completely connected to perception, please feel free to put it in your notes in this quadrant. So I'm going to jump to technology and innovation, that is our last quadrant, and actually is the quadrant that has more flexibility for you to be creative and put anything that works with your business. And the reason why is because when you have dedicated time to these activities in ongoing basis, you are going to start to discover what can be here that can help you. For example, if one activity you have that is supplies and inventory, here is where you're going to once in a while start doing research about what are the different technology tools that are out there to make it easier for me to manage that, right? Like it could be anything. So research new technology. And this part, I don't want to say that you guys now are gonna start looking for what is the latest technology that is out there. It's more about like, okay, perfect. If I'm working in my financials, there are many right now tools out there that helps you, that you don't need to know numbers and all that. It's just you answer simple questions, and the technology tool helps you to see where you are and give you the reports in a very, very friendly way. The same way with the way to receive and do payments, right? So it's more like that way you don't rely on other people to come and tell you what is new or what can serve. If you dedicate some time to research for new technology, you will find that there are many ways that the new technology can help with this. From free tools to like very low cost tools to anything, right? If you are building your team and you need to manage them, there are many project management tools that are out there. The other part that goes with technology is that because we work in an online presence, your website goes also here in technology and innovation. And if you saw a website here in marketing and creativity, it's more like how you are perceived and how you are seen. But here in this area is more your website in the technicality portion of it. That, for example, that you know, if you hire an agency and do your website, that you have all the logins, that you also take care of your hosting or know where your hosting is and how that works. And hosting it's where you put your website, where your website lives, kind of like paying rent to have the website online. And there are many things around website that maybe I'm not remembering right now, but it's more about the different accounts or tools that you can have inside your website that can be like, oh, I need now to have email capturing. So it's more the functionality of it. And then in the marketing is looking good. It's people are seeing it beautiful, but this is more like, is it functioning? Like what I need to have efficiency and to function well. And for those of you that have businesses with a specific talents, or in your guys' case, Ushi and Anna with chicken restaurant, one technology that is important, for example, for your business is your recipes, right? So normally we just think about technology as computers, machines, like this part, and technology is way more than that. Technology is any type of tool that actually helps you to do what we do right now as humans in a more efficient way, right? And it could be, technology could be a curriculum. Technology can be a methodology. So in your guys' case, it's important that you dedicate time to your recipes. That is kind of like your technology, because whatever is the decision that you guys are going to make about the restaurant, that's how you're going to cook that food. There is going to be a way. And yeah, people stay with that way forever, but it's important for you guys that you pause and have an activity that you, oh, there are these new techniques. Actually, there is these new machines that I can, what we used to take 10 minutes, now the chef can do it in 5 minutes. There is these flavors that are going on. Let's try this new dish, right? That's part of the innovation and technology piece.
So Kathy, I'm just really quick. I'm getting a couple of these questions. So is that the same as having your IP, or your, like, these are my pieces of writing, these are my photos, these are my creations?
Exactly. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm for the sake of the chicken restaurant, I put recipes, but I like that. Let's put it like IP, and it could be anything, right? For an engineer, it could be a machine that they developed, right? For teachers, could be a certain methodology. For when you said photography, it could be the method that they use, and then they dedicate time to also look at the equipment, like what is out there, or yeah, in your guys' case, the way that the food is prepared. So again, technology and innovation could be added, like you guys could add anything as soon as you go to your activities. And once you have your quadrant, let's say that you have your PDF and you put your own activities there, there is some like framework at least there. What that is going to help you is that from now on, when you create your schedule, when you have your activities as a business owner that you need to show up, you need to do on your day-to-day. But when you create that schedule, you're going to start to embed here and there the other pieces of your house that you don't, on regular basis, you don't take care of that. So what this helps you is that hopefully you have your schema in front of your desk or in a place, and you like, okay, you know, once a month I'm going to start working on the process of how I treat my clients, and I'm started to document it. And maybe every week I'm going to start paying attention to cash flow management. I'm curious. I want to at least like half an hour a week. And then what this helps you is that little by little, you embed that. It's no longer aliens in your house. It's part of your house, and you start to play with them and get in touch with those areas. And then what happens is that this spiral that you have in the middle that represents you and who you are and your values, you start to have a framework to pivot and touch all the areas of your business. And this doesn't happen from one day to the other one. But as you grow, what you will see is that any single area of your business, whether you are an expert or not, will have those core values and will have that essence and the intention of why you build what you wanted to build.
Great, Kathy. That's like a perfect way to go right into questions, and we have about 10 minutes, so I'm going to open the floor for questions, and I'm going to start with one that was just to that end, is that if you know if you're say you're doing a contract, right? And you're really kind of like, well, I'm limited to certain standards. Is there ways to embed your values into that contract? Is that the kind of thing that you're saying right there?
In the legal?
Yeah. Or yeah, I mean, this question here is about legal, but I think that the kind of overview question is, how do I embed my values in each? Am I like creating a plan in which I do that, or what's that kind of look like?
Yes. So there is, if, for example, let's see that your values are that you really appreciate flexibility and you really want to be flexible, right? You hire a lawyer and they create a contract that is like, is white or black. But because you don't know law, like you just like, okay, yeah, give me that contract. This is what I'm going to use in my business. And it's okay because the lawyer knows better than I. But if you go to the lawyer and say like, look, in my business, I really appreciate flexibility. So if we are talking about my agreements with my staff, I really want to have these options around vacations. I really want them to get these options about, I know that you're the legal expert, but please try to be flexible in the terms that you apply in that contract. And they will hear. They will hear. They usually don't do it is because the business owner don't speak and they just go with like, I will do whatever I want to do. So yes, it could be definitely about relationships, Ushi, like for you, for example, for some people, if relationships are part of even a value, could be any type of value. I feel that if you take the time, you can put it in contracts in a settled way.
And then and this is so great because the questions have a lot of thread to them. So then a couple of people are asking, so what is, like, do you recommend that I have a list of all these activities and that underneath each of them I keep writing bullet points of my to-dos, or you mentioned a schedule. So I think what I'm seeing the thread is two-part. One is, what is my next step after knowing all of this? Like, what is like a really immediate next step I can do? And then what's the difference between this being a to-do list and a way to organize your business? So why don't you hit the first one and then I'll ask the second one after, so it's easier for you to remember all that.
I will say that the first step is like going back to the analogy of the house. I will say that is added to the schedule, at least as an intention. It's not like I have to do it or my business is gonna fail, but at least like when you think about the house, you start to see like, Saturdays I'm gonna clean my room, or this day I'm gonna do deep cleaning in the kitchen, right? So I will say that as a first step, while you get familiar with what it means, each activity, is to just add it to your schedule. Like when you work on your schedule, an example could be like, every Friday morning I have this 1 hour that I have been just doing research or exploring online. I'm gonna start to put financials there, and I'm really gonna block that time and start to get curious, and I'm gonna look what that woman Catherine said there about reports and all that. I'm just gonna start reading about it, and or if you already have a bookkeeper or an accountant, ask them questions, right? We usually just delegate and just like, hey, I went to this training and I was told that it's good that my bookkeeper is in touch with my accountant. Can you talk to my accountant? Just curiosity, I will say, but put it in your schedule, and it's gonna take time. And the more that you diversify your schedule, then it becomes your second nature. What it helps is that when you have it in your schedule, few months from now, you start to think like that. You show up in your business and it's more natural for you to have that awareness that you can be in the kitchen, but you know that the garage is there and you already know what is happening in the garage. But it takes time to train your behavior and your mindset.
That reminds me of my mom. We always used to be like, how does she see everything? Does she have like eyes over here? How did she know that we just got into trouble? So the other question that's coming up here, again, like, it's so great because I've definitely felt it as an entrepreneur myself, is that where does it come in terms of, I know my value and I want to charge a certain rate and I don't know what to do about it. And is that marketing, creativity? Is that relationship? Is that an operational thing? And also, even if it's all of those things, I'm seeing like, I have no idea what activity that is.
Well, that's thank you for that question. That's actually a great question, because this process, when you go through the process of like incorporated this to your, as a whole, in your schedule and in your business management, even if you are one person, when you have those type of questions, you will find the answer because you are touching. Like, even if someone else is doing the marketing, you will know like, this is how people are perceiving me. But then when I dedicate time to how I relate to my clients, this is what I'm doing. But when I see the report, the cash doesn't match. So then it's like, it helps you to have that and actually connect. You will find your own answer because you have the thread. It's kind of a golden thread that you, when you work on all this in isolation, you don't know. You are like, I'm just not receiving for what I'm giving, right? But when you have the thread, it will come to you the answer, because it's what actually is happening, facts, like what you're receiving, how you, in with your own intention, creating that experience with your clients or delivering the product, and how they are perceiving it. So you will manage that and get your answer from there.
Great. And so we have time for one more. And again, this is just a common one, is how do you not get overwhelmed?
Great.
I was like, that's it.
I will say that consistency at the beginning to integrating these parts to your business. That's why when you ask at the beginning that if I'm a solopreneur and I'm a business owner that I don't have a team right now, do I need this? I will say that that's the perfect time to actually start doing this, because then little by little you start to integrate it in your calendar, right? You will follow a schedule. If it doesn't happen because you really need to take care of something else, it's fine. Like, the world is not gonna end, but you start to get into the habit. And at the beginning could be overwhelming. I would recommend that you approach all this with curiosity. It's not that, don't go to this as I'm gonna have to do all this. It's more like, I'm gonna have an overview and learn and have it there, have it in my awareness. And then with time, it becomes a habit. It becomes just your second nature.
Great. Well, we're almost at 11:30 here, and firstly, I'd love to thank you. You can't hear people's claps, so I'll have to do it. Like, thank you, Kathy. Really, really great information, and I'm sure that people, I can see that people want more. So here's what I'm going to say to that. I'm gonna first say that part of what this comes from is the Booming Collective. And also the Booming Academy. We have 2 levels of engagement. So Booming Collective, you get to do a deep dive, and you also get the support of other entrepreneurs that help you to tackle this and help you kind of discover what they did about the challenges in the situation. And then Booming Academy, which we're launching, is so that we can give bite-sized pieces of this like you just saw today. So we will rely on Anna to send you that information. But more specific to this training, yes, we recorded it, and yes, Anna will send it out. And then secondly, I'm going to just say yes to this, so hopefully you're okay with it, Kathy, is that a few people are asking for a starter page of the PDF to be sent out where it has the kind of activities that we suggest from the Booming Group perspective that they can then alter. So she's nodding her head. Cool, thank you. And then Anna, just can I get a nod that you'll send that out to the participants so that they can kind of get started with this. Yep, Anna's nodding. Okay, cool. I mean, I'm kind of, they have to say yes now because I said this. So thank you, ladies. And then on that note, if there are things that you want to dive deep on, or if there are ways that you still feel like, oh my gosh, it's all over the place and I need to know my next step, definitely get in touch with Anna because she can prescribe, or she can just share with you the next step. So Anna, do you just want to talk, like, just your contact info, and then And then, yeah, go for that. Thanks.
Sure. Yeah, my email address is the best and fastest way to reach me, and that's easy. It's just Anna, ANNA, at Boomin Group. So it's BOOMINGROUP.com. And it's that easy. Just reach out to me and we'll just chat. We'll go back and forth on email and figure out what it is you need, and we'll get you the help or the support that you're looking for. So, yeah.
Yeah, great. And I want to kind of round that out by saying that, one, you can definitely rest assured that in 2017, we are going to host a lot more leaders per context, accounting, how to make a great brand, how to write great content. There's so many, as you saw, places that you can drill down in that. And our hope and our vision and what we're really working towards is to get experts in each of those areas so that you can access that kind of training. And of course, they're super passionate about it and can fill hours and hours with it. So that's what you can get excited for in 2017. Yes.
Can I add something quick?
Yes.
Because it's the end of the year, I feel we decided to go with this training because it's to organize 2017. But what I would like to tell like the audience as business owners and entrepreneurs that don't go to this exercise when Anna sent all these documents with your head and trying like, oh my gosh, how I'm gonna do this. Like take a step backwards, and even you already are building your business, but I will say that before jumping into the documents that Anna is gonna send, take a few minutes to like connect back to your value, connect with your heart and what you are building, the reason why you are doing it, and all the things that matters to you about this business and in your life, and then take Anna's documents and then you start from there.
Cool.
I promise won't be as overwhelming.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, great. So Anna will be in touch. Thank you very much, Kathy, and a very special shout out to the Booming team. There's a lot of people behind the scenes making this possible, and they're working really hard. And I know that they're just as smiley and eager as Anna, Kathy, and I that you're here and that we had such a great turnout. And we hope to see you again and again. And happy holidays and happy new year. Guess what? It's 2017 almost. And we just wish you the best for 2017. Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much. Happy holidays.